experimental weapon of mass destruction, death ray. Tesla once claimed to have invented a death ray. Where did it go? Who hid or destroyed it? Throughout history, few figures have captured the imagination of the scientific world quite like Nikola Tesla. A visionary, inventor, and engineer, Tesla's mind was a cauldron of ideas that often transcended the boundaries of his era. Among the many tales that swirl around his legacy, one stands out for its air of mystery, controversy, and speculation: the story of Tesla's so-called death ray, or as he himself called it, the teleforce weapon. This enigmatic invention, which Tesla claimed could change the course of human conflict forever, remains one of the most tantalizing unsolved puzzles in the annals of scientific history. But what exactly was this device? Did it truly exist? And if so, what became of it? Was it hidden, destroyed, or simply relegated to the realm of myth? To unravel these questions, we must journey back into the life and mind of Nikola Tesla, explore the world in which he lived, and examine the evidence surrounding his elusive weapon of mass destruction. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan, in what is now Croatia, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. From an early age, he displayed an extraordinary aptitude for science and engineering. His journey would take him across continents, from the classrooms of Graz and Prague to the bustling innovation hubs of Paris and New York City. Tesla's contributions to the world are immense: alternating current power systems, radio, wireless transmission, and even precursors to modern robotics and radar. Yet, amid his many successes, Tesla's later years were marked by financial hardship, professional rivalries, and a growing sense that his most groundbreaking work was being overlooked or even suppressed. It was in the midst of this turbulent period, during the 1930s, that Tesla began to speak publicly about a new invention he claimed would render warfare obsolete: a device that could project immense energy across great distances and destroy entire armies, fleets, or even aircraft in flight. He dubbed this invention the teleforce, but the popular press soon latched onto a more sensational term: the death ray. The concept of a death ray was not unique to Tesla. In the early 20th century, as radio waves and electromagnetic technology advanced, the idea that energy could be projected as a weapon fascinated both scientists and the general public. Science fiction pulsed with visions of invisible rays capable of annihilating foes. Yet Tesla's claims carried unique weight, given his established reputation and history of pioneering inventions. According to Tesla, the death ray was not a ray in the traditional sense. Rather, he described a device that could accelerate microscopic, electrically charged particles to extremely high velocities, then direct them in a focused beam toward a distant target. The energy would be so concentrated, Tesla said, that it could bring down aircraft hundreds of miles away, obliterate tanks, or destroy entire armies with surgical precision. Importantly, Tesla insisted that his invention was purely defensive. He envisioned a world in which every nation could deploy his device along its borders, making invasion impossible and thereby ensuring lasting peace. Tesla first publicly announced his invention in 1934 in interviews and articles that appeared in major newspapers, including the New York Times. He described the teleforce as a new and revolutionary means of defense and claimed he had already constructed a prototype in his laboratory. Tesla asserted that the device could generate tremendous electrical force, 1,000,000 times greater than that which could be obtained with any known method. He further stated that he was seeking funding to develop and deploy his invention for the benefit of the world. The scientific establishment, however, reacted with skepticism. While Tesla's credentials were unimpeachable, the technical details he provided were vague and often shrouded in secrecy. Some physicists doubted that the necessary energies could be generated or directed with the technology of the time. Others pointed out that the ionized particles Tesla described would disperse rapidly in air, making long-range targeting impossible. Still, the idea was captivating, and in an era marked by rising geopolitical tensions and the looming threat of another world war, it attracted the attention of governments and military leaders. Tesla's efforts to attract official interest in his death ray took him to a number of countries. In the United States, he reportedly approached the War Department with his ideas, offering to reveal his plans in exchange for funding and support. Similar overtures were made to the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and even Yugoslavia. In each case, Tesla insisted on strict conditions. He would only reveal the full workings of the device if he retained control over its deployment, and it would only be used for defensive purposes. Despite Tesla's efforts, his proposals were met with caution, hesitancy, or outright dismissal. Governments were wary of investing in what might be little more than science fiction, and Tesla's demands for secrecy and control complicated negotiations. Nevertheless, rumors persisted that Tesla had actually built a working prototype, possibly in his New York hotel room or at a secret laboratory. Some accounts even suggest that foreign agents attempted to steal his plans, or that mysterious visitors came to examine his invention. The mystery deepened with Tesla's death in January 1943. At the time, Tesla was living alone in the New Yorker hotel in relative poverty. When hotel staff discovered his body, they also found his personal papers and belongings, which included years of scientific notes, diagrams, and correspondence. Almost immediately, representatives of the U.S. government, specifically from the Office of Alien Property, arrived and seized his documents and materials. The stated reason was national security, given that the United States was in the midst of World War II, and Tesla was known to have communicated with foreign governments. This act spawned decades of speculation and conspiracy theories. Some believe that within Tesla's papers were the blueprints for the death ray, and that the U.S. government either suppressed the technology or attempted to develop it for military use. Others claim that the plans were incomplete, that the device was never built, or that the technology was simply beyond the reach of contemporary science. What do we actually know about the fate of Tesla's death ray? The answer, as with so much about Tesla's later years, is shrouded in uncertainty. After the seizure of Tesla's papers, the FBI conducted an investigation, and a team of engineers led by Dr. John G. Trump, an MIT professor and uncle of future President Donald Trump, was tasked with evaluating the contents. Dr. Trump later stated that Tesla's papers did not contain anything that would constitute a practical weapon, and that the ideas described were speculative, philosophical, and promotional, rather than technical blueprints. Nevertheless, some of Tesla's belongings were eventually returned to his family and now reside in the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade. Researchers who have examined these documents report that while there are references to teleforce and energy transmission, there is no definitive, detailed plan for a working death ray. At the same time, some files reportedly remain classified or missing, fueling further speculation. The idea that Tesla's death ray might have been hidden or destroyed is a persistent theme in popular culture. Some believe that government agencies, fearful of the potential consequences of such a weapon, deliberately suppressed or destroyed the evidence. Others suggest that Tesla himself may have destroyed his plans, either out of disappointment at humanity's failure to embrace his vision of peace, or out of fear that his invention would be misused. Adding to the legend are stories of unexplained phenomena that some have attributed to Tesla's experiments. One such tale involves the Tunguska event of 1908, in which a massive explosion leveled thousands of square kilometers of forest in Siberia. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated, without evidence, that Tesla's wireless energy experiments were responsible. While mainstream science attributes the Tunguska event to a meteor or comet, the association with Tesla reflects the enduring mystique of his inventions. So, was the death ray real? Was it hidden, destroyed, or simply an unrealized dream? To answer this, we must consider both the scientific context of Tesla's time and the nature of his work. First, the technical challenges of building a particle beam weapon in the early 20th century were immense. The energy required to accelerate particles to destructive velocities, the need to focus and direct the beam over long distances, and the fundamental limitations of air as a medium all posed formidable obstacles. Modern particle accelerators, such as those used in physics research, are massive, complex machines that require advanced materials and power sources far beyond what was available to Tesla. While Tesla's theoretical concepts may have anticipated aspects of later research into directed energy weapons, there is no evidence that he, or anyone else of his era, constructed a practical device. Second, Tesla was known for his grand pronouncements and sometimes exaggerated claims, particularly in his later years. Facing financial difficulties and a lack of recognition, he often sought to attract attention and support by publicizing dramatic new inventions. This does not mean he was dishonest. Tesla truly believed in his vision of a peaceful world protected by advanced technology, but it does suggest that some of his claims were aspirational rather than literal. Third, the seizure of Tesla's papers by the U.S. government, while striking, is not necessarily evidence of a cover-up or hidden weapon. During World War II, governments were acutely aware of the potential for advanced science to influence the outcome of the conflict, as seen with the race to develop atomic weapons. Any hint of a revolutionary device, particularly from a figure as renowned as Tesla, would have warranted investigation. The fact that Dr. Trump and his team found nothing of immediate military value suggests that either the death ray was never fully realized, or that Tesla had not committed its secrets to paper. Yet, the story of Tesla's death ray endures, both as a cautionary tale and as a symbol of the blurry line between genius and fantasy. It speaks to our fascination with the idea that one brilliant mind could change the course of history, for good or ill. It also reflects the anxieties and hopes of an era in which science seemed both limitless and dangerous. In the decades since Tesla's death, the concept of directed energy weapons has become a reality, at least in experimental form. Lasers, microwave beams, and particle accelerators are now part of military research and development. Yet these systems are the product of immense technological advances and resources, and even today their practical application is limited. In this sense, Tesla's vision was prophetic. He anticipated a world in which energy could be harnessed and focused in unprecedented ways. But the leap from concept to operational weapon was, and remains, a monumental challenge. In the end, the fate of Tesla's death ray may be less important than the legacy it represents. It is a story of imagination, ambition, and the perennial tension between the promise of technology and the realities of its implementation. It is also a reminder of the responsibilities that come with great power, something Tesla understood deeply. He dreamed not of weapons of conquest, but of defenses so formidable that war itself would become obsolete. Whether or not he succeeded in building his death ray, his vision of a world safeguarded by science remains as relevant today as ever. The disappearance or non-realization of Tesla's death ray is thus a multifaceted mystery. Was it hidden or destroyed? Perhaps in a sense it was both, hidden by the limitations of its time, destroyed by the forces of skepticism, bureaucracy, and the inexorable march of technological progress. Or perhaps the true weapon was never a device at all, but an idea. The belief that humanity could transcend its destructive instincts through imagination and invention. As we look back on Tesla's extraordinary life, we are left with more questions than answers. The death ray remains an enigma, a puzzle that may never be fully solved. Yet in that mystery lies its enduring power, a testament to the limitless possibilities of the human mind, and a challenge to future generations to dream, to question, and to strive for a better world. In contemplating the legend of Tesla's death ray, we are reminded of the fine line between science and science fiction, between hope and hubris. We are reminded, too, of the dangers of unchecked technological ambition and of the need for wisdom, ethics, and humility in the face of discovery. For every invention that changes the world, there are countless ideas that remain on the drawing board, waiting for their moment, or perhaps destined to remain forever in the realm of myth. Tesla's death ray, whether fact or fiction, is a story that continues to inspire, to caution, and to provoke wonder. It is a story that belongs not only to the past, but to the future, a future in which the dreams and dilemmas of visionaries like Nikola Tesla will continue to shape the destiny of humanity.